people reach retirement with the exact same income, the exact same savings, and the exact same retirement date. 5 years later, one of them is calm, confident, and financially secure. The other is quietly stressed, second-guessing every purchase, flinching at market headlines, lying awake wondering if the money will actually last.
Here's the part that surprises people. It's usually not luck, and it's almost never that one of them was smarter. It comes down to a handful of decisions made in the final 5 years before retirement, a stretch I call the retirement red zone. Not because markets get more dangerous there, but because mistakes made in that window are incredibly hard to undo once you stop working. Today, I'm walking you through the 5 most important things to get right if you're within 5 years of retirement. And the third one is where most people unknowingly put their entire plan at risk. Welcome back to Smart Finance. Let's get into it. The first thing to understand is this. The final 5 years before retirement are not about coasting. For a lot of people, they're the most powerful years of the entire journey. If you're still working, this is often your highest earning window. The big expenses may be behind you. Kids are out of the house, the mortgage is smaller or gone, and for the first time, cash flow can be redirected on purpose. Continue. Once you turn 50, contribution limits go up. Catch-up contributions kick in. You can put more into a 401k, more into an IRA, and potentially capture more of your employer match. 5 years doesn't sound like much, but aggressive saving combined with compounding can dramatically change the outcome. I've seen retirement balances nearly double in this window, not because of some lucky market run, but because of pure discipline during this final stretch. This is your last real chance to add fuel to the tank, because once retirement starts, the whole focus shifts from adding money to protecting and distributing what you've already saved. Second, you need to shift your thinking away from a savings number and toward income generation. Saving is only half the equation. Retirement doesn't care about your net worth. It cares about your cash flow. Retirement is the moment your paycheck stops, and you have to start replacing it with income from your own portfolio, usually pulled from 3 places: Social Security, a pension if you're lucky enough to have one, and withdrawals from your investments. What actually matters is understanding how those 3 pieces work together, what your guaranteed income already covers, where the gaps are, and how your portfolio is expected to fill them. Rules of thumb can help, but they're not a plan. A smaller portfolio with a well-designed income system can feel far more secure than a much larger one with no structure behind it at all. Third, and this is the one most people miss, and the most dangerous one to get wrong, protecting yourself from market volatility does not mean going overly conservative. One of the biggest mistakes I see in the years leading up to retirement is pulling back too much risk too early, moving everything into safe investments without realizing retirement doesn't last a few years. It lasts 30 years or more. And over that stretch, inflation is often the bigger threat, not volatility. Selling investments during a downturn locks in the loss permanently. And doing that early in retirement can damage a plan in a way that never fully recovers. This is where a proper cash buffer becomes critical. Setting aside a few years of planned spending in safer investments while letting your longer-term growth money stay invested and do its job. The goal was never to predict the market. It's to prevent the panic decision that happens when the market drops and you need cash right now. If this is already reframing how you're thinking about your own countdown to retirement, tap that like button. It helps YouTube put this in front of more people standing right where you are. Now, here's the part almost nobody plans for in time. Fourth, optimize your taxes before you retire. Most people assume their taxes will go down in retirement. In reality, a lot of retirees end up paying more than they expected. There are 3 tax buckets that matter: tax-deferred, tax-free, and taxable. Having flexibility across all 3 gives you real options later. The years right before and right after retirement are exactly when these planning opportunities exist, and they tend to disappear once your income is locked into a fixed pattern. Taxes in retirement aren't an afterthought, they're a design element.
And the fifth step has nothing to do with spreadsheets. You need to design your retirement lifestyle, not just your numbers. Retirement isn't just stopping work, it's redefining your structure, your purpose, your meaning. Money supports the life. It isn't the life itself. These final 5 years are your last real opportunity to shape what retirement actually feels like, not just what it costs. Here's what I want you to walk away with. The retirement red zone isn't something to fear. It's something to use. The decisions you make in these 5 years matter more than almost any other stretch of your financial life. If this helped, subscribe to this channel. I put out a new video every week. See you in next video.